D3, baby.
Welcome to another episode of Schultes Strong. I'm Sam Schultes, and today we're going to talk about supplements that help you to survive COVID if you should get it. Now, I'm going to give a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not your doctor. I do have a lot of experience in this area, but please double check everything that I'm saying. So this is the way that I use YouTube anyways, and I'll kind of throw this out there. I hear things, then I go look them up. And in that way, it's more infotainment. So you're not taking what I'm saying as like the Bible, the Holy Bible, your Holy Bible. And you become an informed and well thought about consumer. So that being said, the first thing we're going to talk about today is D3. This one, by the way, is in 1,000 IUs. A recommended dose, daily dose of D3 is 5,000 IUs. And if you shop D3, you'll notice that the smaller doses, the cheaper prices. So if you see D3 on sale and you're like, oh, that's really cheap, check the dose, okay? The other thing is if you are not going outside, right? You're not getting exposed to UV light. You really need to take D3 on a daily basis. It does a whole host of things. There was a in vitro and in vivo study at the University of Colorado regarding D3 and people surviving COVID and D3 and people dying from COVID. So one of the things that was found first was that the coronavirus, the COVID-19 virus in vitro, that means in glass. So, right, you expose the virus itself to D3. D3 was cytotoxic to the virus, which means that it kills the virus. Okay, that's in glass. In the body, it was found that people that had higher levels of D3 were more likely to survive the coronavirus if they got it. And that people, the commonality between people that had low levels amongst mortality rate, like had a bigger chance or increased likelihood of dying from COVID with low levels of D3. So it's something that you want to take on a routine basis for general health, but during this time, and especially if you're coming in contact with people, keep your levels high. Now, personally, I take 10,000 IUs a day, and I get UV exposure, which means I'm going out in the sunlight and I'm taking my D3. Why am I doing both? And it's because there are other attributes to UV exposure than just increasing D3 production. It's, UV light is immune enhancing by itself. I also like fresh air. I like to exercise outdoors. So these are all things to take under consideration. For guys out there and men and women, D3 is critical for healthy sex hormones. So, you could have a man or a woman who's low libido. You bring their D3 levels up and they now have nice, healthy sex drives. Also good for bone mineral density. It's good for your hair and skin. So there's other attributes to D3 than just surviving COVID. But if you want to protect yourself, make sure that you have your D3. Any brand will work. You can get it at any pharmacy. Shop around, have it on hand. And, if you think you've come into contact with the virus, a good idea is to saturate. You can't really OD on D3. I've seen studies as high as 50,000 IUs a day and people having gains in sport performance at that level. There was a Stanley Cup hockey team. I forget the name of the team, but you guys could look this up. That their main performance enhancing drug for the course of the year was high levels of D3, I think 50,000 IUs a day, and they had amazing endurance. So take that under consideration. Again, don't take my word for it. Look it up though. So I'm telling you the right things. And cheers, D3.
Vitamin C.
Vitamin C, absolutely critical for immune health. And does anyone out there know why? Me. I know why. So vitamin C in the bloodstream increases your peroxidase enzymes, which then increases hydrogen peroxide from the leukocytes. What are leukocytes? Leukocytes are your cells of the immune system that attack incoming organisms, bacteria, viruses, small parasites, but not squirrels. So it's also dirt cheap. This is a dirt cheap way to protect yourself. I did get into an argument online recently with a nephrologist. What is a nephrologist, people out there? Someone who studies kidney health. So there's the rare chance that, and I'm talking very small portion of the population, that high levels of vitamin C negatively impacts kidney function. So that's like 0.1% of the population. And here's a strategy that you can do if you have had kidney stones in the past and you want to use vitamin C to protect yourself. And that is to take it in aqueous form, so not pills, but in liquid solution, and no more than 500 milligrams at a dose, right? So give an example on how to do that. Those little emergency vitamin C packets, dissolve one in water, that's 1,000 milligrams. Take whatever that volume is, cut it in half. Now you have 500 milligrams, drink it, and then 2 to 3 hours later, once it's cleared the system, then go again. And that's how you manage it. So if you do come into contact with the coronavirus, or you do come down with the coronavirus and you want to live, high levels of vitamins C will increase your chance of survival dramatically. It'll also reduce the total symptoms because there's something called a cytokine storm. It's basically when you get inflammation in your lungs, and it greatly reduces that. So vitamin C, here you go.
NIC, baby.
Woo! N-acetylcysteine. So N-acetylcysteine is a acetylated version of the amino acid cysteine. Cysteine is commonly found in poultry. So if you eat a lot of poultry, good for you. Eggs, chicken. I like to mix eggs and chicken together. So, it's kind of sick, warped, demented, but it's tasty. And it's really high in cysteine. So if you're a vegetarian or vegan, you definitely want N-acetylcysteine because vegetarian foods are low in this. Our liver uses cysteine to make the enzymes needed to fight incoming infections, or enzymes in general, all enzymes, but the enzymes that specifically regulate the cytokine storm. So back to, if you remember, the vitamin C and cytokines. Cytokines are like a histamine inflammatory response that happen in the lungs, and then you get fluid in the lungs and you can't breathe. So N-acetylcysteine helps to down-regulate that activity, which means it lessens it. So if you, say, have the coronavirus or you've been exposed to the coronavirus, make sure that you're getting N-acetylcysteine. Now, I'm going to jump down here and grab my vitamin C. Just got done talking with a friend of mine who's a cardiologist from Southern California. And for people that are having acute infections, they give them intravenous cysteine at 600 milligrams and vitamin C intravenous at 500 milligrams, and it greatly increases survival rate. However, oral administration is not as effective. Therefore, you have to take higher doses and more frequent doses. So this is in 600 milligram doses. You'll want to take 600 milligrams, like 2 of these at night before bed, and it helps with sleep. It also helps with sleep. You can take it throughout the day. It won't make you drowsy, however. But remember, if you are a vegan or vegetarian, have this on hand. If you're getting exposed to the coronavirus, make sure to have these.
Focus buddy, mushroom complex. Well, it says mushroom complex, I promise.
All right, we got 8 by Mushroom Complex. So this is a brand called Antler Farms. It was new to me. I'm trying it out. However, the best version of this comes from a company called Host Defense, created by Paul Stamets. He is the probably world's foremost expert in mycology, the study of mushrooms. And I'll read you real quick what's on the back of this. It's got lion's mane, it's got reishi, cordyceps, chaga, and turkey tail. Okay, so out of these, the one that doesn't, there's 2 here that don't really boost immune function. That's cordyceps and lion's mane. But the others do. And the key compound in these that's increasing immune function is beta-glucans. Beta-glucans are a type of sugar that are, again, body uses to make the compounds that target incoming organisms, viruses, bacteria, and boost overall immune function. Without getting too complicated into this, the best way to think about these mushroom complexes is a general antibiotic, meaning not specific. So you can take them daily. You can increase your dosage if you get an infection, but you can have a maintenance dose. Say on this, the bottle says 3 capsules a day. That's a good idea. Say I'm cruising along and I'm taking my 3 capsules a day and then I get sick. Well, during that time, you'll want to triple or quadruple. So, 9 capsules a day, 12 capsules a day. And the difference between, say, and I know these doses may sound high to you, a supplement versus a drug. This is a food. It's a concentrated food. So you have to think, I need to eat more food when I'm sick. Yes, that's the idea here. Also, do your homework and find out what works with you, what brands are the best. And as you log on and you're watching these videos, I'm going to tell you the best brands. And if I'm experimenting with something new, I'll let you know why and kind of what my findings are. I'll also let you know about what the research is out there. But if you get a chance, go on fungi.com and check out the Host Defense brand. It's the most widely researched brand out there. And it's my go-to. But in the meantime, if you find something like this, give it a shot. It's usually a little bit cheaper. Make sure that the mushrooms are organic. Alrighty. That's it for the COVID defense section supplements. If you are new to the channel, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Be sure to leave me a comment down below like, what the hell are you talking about? And remember that this is a discussion, so I really want audience participation, especially if you're a mycologist or a nephrologist or a doctor of integrative medicine. I want to hear from you. Rather than being a know-it-all here, I'm here to learn just along with you, and we're in this together. So signing off, Schultes Strong. I love you, and I'll see you soon.